The following show and its content are the responsibility of the show's producers and participants.
Information related in this program is not meant to substitute medical recommendations. Before starting a treatment program, you should consult your physician.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
That's right. Welcome to the Couch Live here on WPSN99.com, the problem-solving network. Hello, everybody. It's the last Couch Live before New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or the New Year. Last show of 2018. We're going actually into 2019. I am the street-certified dope Dr. Louis Delgado here with you, along with my co-host, as usual, Trinity Phillips. Hello, Trinity.
Hey, what is up?
The Dharma Guy himself.
Yes, sir.
Last one of the year, Trinity.
It is, isn't it, man?
Last one.
Wow.
Last one.
That's another year went by really fast, didn't it?
This year, just they all go by fast, Trinity, when you get old.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to admit to being old just yet.
Yeah.
Hold up there.
You need to take
Grandpa.
a look in the mirror, son.
Look, Grandpa. With your little seat cushion and everything. Come on.
I got my new Pittsburgh Steelers seat cushion that Dana get.
I'm telling you.
You know, apparently Dana thinks I have hemorrhoids or something.
I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna get you one of them those beaded car seats, man, with all the beads. You sit down. So your old man starter kit.
If it puts a little massage into it,
sure.
I'm good.
That's
you put a little kneading,
That's what they say.
Yeah. I'll just sit there and rub myself while I'm driving. That's a whole different show, Trinity. Don't get us there. We also have a guest in with us from...
We do?
Yeah, from way back. I mean, we've been friends for quite a while, and she is now with Foundations.
Right on.
And her name is Elisa Saunders. Hello, Elisa. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great.
You drove all the way up from South Florida to join us today.
I did.
How cool is that?
I feel pretty special at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, welcome up.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
grateful to be here.
Well, yeah, so tell us all about what's going on with you now, and then before we get into our show, because you've gone through a transition yourself in 2018.
Yes.
And then you got some great news for 2019.
I do. Well, so I am moving.
Moving.
Yeah.
You made the decision.
Yes.
Right on.
I know you were thinking about it.
I was on the fence for a minute.
Right.
And the manager at Foundation's West team kept circling back, and she said, at first, when I went to California for a moment, she said, well, Lisa, we think that you would be perfect up here. And then she circled back.
Up here?
Yeah. Isn't it up?
What
Isn't
up?
California up? L.A. up?
I think the first thing we're going to have to do is get to understand northwest, east, south.
Yes.
She did say Foundations West.
Over there?
Everything is up from Florida, though, so you're probably right about it's up.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably a different up parallel line. But, yeah, it's out west.
Yeah.
You went out west, girl. You're going to be a cowboy.
Yeah, well, Foundations Recovery Network actually owns 18 treatment centers
really do.
across 5 states.
God, everywhere.
They really do.
Everywhere.
And it's exciting to me when I first started I love them too.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful to work for them.
Right.
When I started about 9 months ago, I did on the fact that they are so viewed so well with all their programs, because a lot of people know about their programs, Black Bear Lodge and Michael's House and
La Paloma
with the mental health, and so I was so grateful to be able to represent their programs.
Right.
And they didn't and they also have that conference side. They put on Moments of Change. They put on the big innovations in Nashville. They put on the innovations in California. So in Florida, people thought, oh, well, don't they just do the conferences? And I'm like, no. They have so much more. Yeah. So I branded what I could down in Florida. And when I had this opportunity, I said, well, let me put my name in the hat. Right. And when she kept coming back around, Jillian, the manager in the West, over there.
Smart girl, Jillian. Yes, smart girl.
Yes. And she goes, we just keep coming back to you, Lisa. And I said, and I was stunned.
It's got to feel good.
It did. It was such a compliment, whether I got the gig or not. And I said, okay, well, then I'm going to put my name in the hat. And I did. My prayer was, if I'm going to be of use over there in California, then have me there. If not, God, just slam the door. Right. And things just kept happening to where the door just kept opening and opening and opening. And this is a big thing. I've never really even lived out of Florida.
Right.
I went to college in
Wow.
Florida. Yes. I've never even really
Were you
left.
born and raised here?
Yes, my whole entire life.
You don't
you needed to go.
Wow.
This is the first time that I've ever really even left.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I even when I went to college, I went to Gainesville for 2 years, and then I came home.
Oh, so you left Florida. You went to Georgia.
Yeah.
Gainesville's like South Georgia.
Alabama.
You know?
And then I came home. I've always just been in South Florida my whole entire life. So this is moving cross country is me stepping out of my comfort zone into my power. Yeah. And I didn't think I'd ever do it. I just know that there's a big world out there, and I'm ready to see it.
That's about as far as ways you can get to.
Yeah.
All the way on the other side.
Yeah.
And which part of California? Because it's pretty big.
L.A. And ironically enough, I was my company did give me permission to go out for a couple days and find a place.
Yeah.
And some friends put me in touch with some of their friends, and I actually have a place in Venice.
Oh, so you chose Venice?
Yeah,
because I know you were thinking about Sherman Oaks.
No, I'm going to live in Venice.
I love Venice too. Yeah. Venice is more cost effective than Sherman Oaks for sure.
I found a little
and there's a lot of action
right
in
there.
Venice, man.
And
is that where the Venice Beach is? Where they
yeah.
have all, right
yeah.
Yeah.
And the recovery is so cool there too. Like Culver City, Venice Beach. It's apparently very great right there.
Right on.
So I'm really excited.
Near Santa Monica.
Yep.
Which is one of my favorite cities
and
out
we
there.
have a treatment center in Santa Monica. We have an outpatient right in Santa Monica.
Love Santa Monica.
We have one in Encino. So I'm right in the middle of all of our centers. Like we've got 6 centers within 100 miles.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Well, then when I go out there, I can visit you too. Because Beezy's out there. Beezy's out there with his program, Anchored Recovery.
Yes, I like
there.
those guys a lot. Yes, and there's so many wonderful places out there that I can't wait to see, and that's going to be my real target, to go to a lot of the treatment centers that we have worked with and that haven't in a while. So
well, awesome. All right, well then that's great. That's great news. Let's get into it then.
Yeah.
So it's always great to talk to people from other programs, Trinity, especially like on this end of the year show where we're talking about new beginnings. Here, Elisa actually has a new beginning happening.
In my whole life.
In your life.
Like, never. This is a wildest dreams kind of thing.
Right.
Which is
awesome.
like...
Right.
I've wanted to live, really, to be honest with you guys, in California my whole life. Now, I thought I was going to be a movie star.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd be working for a treatment program.
It's not over.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll get discovered.
You might get discovered. You never know. Over there, you never know.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen.
Isn't everybody over there got like a screenplay or something?
Everybody there is an actor.
Yeah, everybody's there. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I'm only waiting
There's
tables until I get,
Everybody there's an actor.
Get a side gig as extra.
Yeah, you should at least do some extra work. It's fun. I did a lot of that. That's fun.
A good idea.
Let me say, I love doing extra work out there. When I was in film school, because I didn't want to wait tables or anything like that. I didn't know how to work.
School.
So when I was going to film school, I did extra work. And oh my God! So I did a little bit of both, and I ended up being a stuntman in a movie and all that stuff. No, it's really cool. Yeah. You can do all kinds of things. So you're gonna enjoy it. LA's awesome. There's a lot to do. You got to go there mature. You got to go there mature, and you got to go there understanding who you are a little bit. Because if you go there too vulnerable, and if you go there immature, it's a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
But if you go there pretty solid in who you want to be and who you are. I think you'll enjoy it very well.
See, I kind of feel that way about South Florida, though. Like Miami, I should say.
Same. You've already been tested in South Florida. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's just different. Instead of Cubans, it's Mexicans. That's it. You're more around my people. You're gonna love it.
It's just
we love
different growth, I guess.
Yeah. Just stay out of certain areas.
I will.
That's it.
I will.
And
I've got a really nice network already. I've got people that I've connected with. And so it's not like me going across the world with no friends and no connection and no love. I've got people. Right. I've already got people, and I've got my recovery, and I know that I'm going to plug right into that.
You are.
Very cool.
You are. There's a lot of great recovery in that area. And Venice is like, there's a lot of action. It's got some seediness to it, but I kind of like that. You know,
I live on the edge as
well.
Yeah,
Venice has a little of that edgy. It's got that, you know how when you go to South Beach, you see the homeless are in better shape than...
Yeah, they have cell phones.
Yeah. So you're not going to see that in Venice.
Sneakers.
But there are people that for somehow live there. I don't know how they live.
And they do.
Right. But they got a tan and everything. Well, South Beach does have probably the coolest looking homeless ever. They really do. South Beach has
they've been there for a long time.
Yeah, they just live right there on the beach, and they're like, they have a 6-pack.
Well,
they've mastered the panhandling too.
Yes,
they really
they mastered it. So LA has that, but like in a very hippie-ish, bohemian kind of way. You know,
interesting.
It's a little bit different, but it's got the same. It's really no different to me. It's just a different kind of music, a little different vibe-ish, but very similar, and I'm excited for you. So New Beginning, let's talk about that.
New beginnings.
So to make this decision, there's a lot of people going into 2019, Lisa and Trinity, that are worried or concerned or fearful or anxiety-ridden. A lot because we think we're supposed to be anxiety-ridden. I really believe that a lot of times we set ourselves up to be very anxious by thinking we're supposed to be anxious. Almost like when you lose somebody, you think you're supposed to be in mourning, so it puts you in mourning a little bit longer than probably you should have to be or could be, because you feel like, I'm not supposed to have fun yet. I'm not supposed to enjoy my life yet, so I still have to be, in pain. I can't show people I'm having fun because I've just lost somebody not too long ago. And I think we do a lot of that to ourselves. And I think that at the new year, two things happen. When the new year comes, you feel like I'm supposed to show everybody I'm excited and have plans. But if you don't really have good plans, you almost don't want to talk about it because it's like, what are you going to say? Everybody goes around and goes, so what are you going to do in 2019? You're like, more of the same.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't really have plans. So, but you actually have a plan. So what do you recommend, or what did you, forget the recommend, back up. What kind of thought process did you have to go through to be a person? You mind if I out you?
You go for it.
Okay, because you out yourself, right?
Yeah,
all right, so,
I have no anonymity.
So for being in recovery and stuff like that and saying, all right, so here's this decision. It's a big one. Changing, geography. What kind of process did you have to go through?
Well, Louie, if you want full transparency, at about 5 years sober, I was not emotionally sober.
Right.
And I hit a wall, and I was in a lot of pain. And I knew that I had to do some really deep work. Yeah. So I started doing some really deep work about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And finally got into therapy, finally did some inner child stuff, and really, really, really started to step into my power and started to love myself because I didn't realize that I had never done that. And that's been a game changer for me, learning to love myself, learning to be comfortable with me. Right. And not acting out in other ways, because when I took the drugs and alcohol away, that was my solution, right?
Right.
And then I was wonderfully happy working steps and sponsoring women and doing all that. And then when I hit that wall, I'm like, whoa. And that was at about 5 years. So I had to really change things for myself. And what that looks like for me now is stepping into that power and really taking risks. And you talked about energetically, like we're supposed to be sad or happy at the energetically, like I don't have to let my past dictate my life today. Right. Just because I'm supposed to be happy in the new year, why can't I be happy? Why do I have to be sad because I had a rough childhood at times? Or you know what I mean? I can really be happy all the time and think positive stuff. I was on my way up here listening to Abraham Hicks, and she's like, we put so much into being sad or because of our past, and why can't we just be okay? It's not, why do I have to make it so hard? I guess why do I have to wear high heels and park on the opposite side of the parking lot where I'm working? I make things so hard on myself, and I don't need to. Life does not need to be so tough at times.
Right.
And,
well, a lot of times we're just afraid of scraping ourselves, right? Afraid of failing a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I can't, we think we can't fail again.
Yeah. Because
we failed so much. I can't fail again, or I can't let myself down, other people down, or whatever. But, these failures, I like, there's so many different ways that people word the failures, but my favorite one is the way when they turn them into lessons. If you could turn your failures into some sort of lesson, something that you're learning from. I mean, that's really, at least my favorite way to kind of look at a failure is just it's just something you should learn from, right? So when you make a decision like this, which I think is one of the biggest, but one of the most exciting ones, which is moving to an entire new place, what kind of, how does the support system, because you have a great support system, so how do you use the support system? I think a lot of people don't know how to use the support system, so can you talk a little bit about how you use the support system to make this decision?
Well, I know for me, my recovery, if I keep that in the center, I know that I'm going to be okay. And I had a friend that asked me the other day, he goes, what if you go out there and it doesn't work?
Right.
Do you know that God has your back no matter what happens? And that you'll be okay. And I do. I really do. And I'm not going out there with the plan that I can always come home. I'm going out there with the plan that I'm going to make it.
That's right.
And I'm going to be fine no matter what happens. Because that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to just survive anymore with my life, Louie. I want to thrive with my life. I have been a victim for so long. And I've lived my life being a victim. And in order to get out of that thinking, I had to change. I had to transform and be somebody that didn't think that way or didn't live that way. And my inner dialogue is negative. It's, I can't do this, and woe is me, and I'm not good enough. I show up with not good enough most of the time. So I had to flip that script and be like, I can do this. I'm good enough, and I'm going to do it.
Right.
And that's the whole reason I'm going to L.A., because the old Lisa would have never, because I didn't think that I would
stay in that little comfort bubble
all the time, and been like, you know what, I'm just not good enough to make it. I can't go out there. I can't be with all those people. And you know what? I'm going to go out there with the confidence that I can do anything, because now the possibilities are limitless. I'm limitless. Life is limitless.
But I know you got on the phone. I know you got on the phone. I know you spoke to your circle of influence.
I did.
I know you asked them questions.
I did.
And at the end of the day, here's the good thing about having a network of people, and Trinity knows this really well, is not necessarily that you're going to go by what they tell you, but a network of people that you talk to at least promotes a lot of different thoughts in your head. And it lets you play around with your doubtful thoughts and your positive thoughts. And then at the end of it, you make your decision. I mean, I think a lot of people fear talking to a support network because they're afraid they're going to tell them no. And usually they talk to a support network that's going to tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
I like having a network of influence that's going to doubt a lot of things I want to do or think about, because I already know what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want a bunch of yes people. I like people doubting it.
Well, yeah,
because I like to battle it in my head, because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to do what I want to do. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to bump and scrape along the way. But the cool thing is always having some sort of plan to do it, some sort of excitement to get up and create some sort of change in your life. I fear stagnation. I don't like stagnant. I don't think a lot of addicts like stagnant. The difference is, I think, is that there's a big difference between fearing stagnant life because you're anxiety-ridden and because you don't like being around with yourself and you can't stand silence and you can't stand being alone or being in a lot of the same. No, it's just that if life is not exciting and not interesting, then it doesn't seem worthy to me. It seems like you have to create some sort of excitement, or else guess what? My brain is going to find excitement somewhere else. It just is. I'm a man of routine. I like the same restaurants, like the same places. But then when you look at something like that, which I've moved a lot in my life, like I came from LA to here, the excitement is I'm going to meet a whole new group of people. I'm going to not necessarily have to you're not having to reinvent yourself, but you're able to meet new people that don't know all your history unless you give it to them. And that's kind of exciting. Like when people say, well, Lisa, tell me about you. They don't have all this history of who you are. You're able to give them a fresh new perspective of who Lisa is. You're able to go to new meetings. You're able to experience new places, do fun things that you would never be doing here because you get stuck in your routines here. There's certain places you're going to go here. Like, I'd never really go to Disney. It's here. In L.A., you might go to Disney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might go there because it's L.A.
Yeah.
You. In other words, we just don't even go to the places that are in our area. I bet you there's places in South Florida that Trinity's been to that you haven't been to, and you've lived in South Florida your entire life.
Most likely. I don't go to the beach that much here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just like that. But over there, who knows? You might turn into, I'm going to Malibu. I'm going to Malibu. Well, you're in Venice, so if you're in Venice, you're definitely going to be going to the boardwalk like that. What do you think, Trinity? Changes. I know Dharma Guy has a lot of opinions on changes and new experiences and how to look forward to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think change is awesome. I think that people oftentimes say they don't like change, and yet that's the only constant in our lives is change, if you think about it. I just to touch on what you said earlier, I think that I think people underestimate the value of getting input from people around you. Yeah. I really do. I think that people like to do it on their own, kind of a thing. Right. You know, like, oh, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm independent. And I don't think they realize that you can still be independent while getting input from those around you. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, you only have your perspective. Right. And sometimes your perspective, you fill in a narrative with whatever your own like strengths and weaknesses are. And when you get input from somebody else, they oftentimes give you a completely different perspective. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't be the man I am today without getting input from people around me. It just wouldn't happen. Because you said earlier, you get stuck in your own little like comfort zone. Yeah. And what makes me get out of my comfort zone is going to people who I know will. It just happened. What was it? Like 3-4 days ago, when I was on the phone with you. There was something happening in my life, and I knew exactly how I wanted to handle the situation. Right. But I knew that it wasn't probably the right way to handle the situation. Right. And so I was like, but I knew somebody I could call that would be like, come on, dude, like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and make this call because I knew what the call was going to be. Right. But without that little voice in my head saying, hey, you probably shouldn't, right. I would have gone the other route probably and would have handled things the way that I wanted to, not the way I needed to. Mm-hmm. And it was for that input. And so I think it's important to use the people around you, but I also think it's important to surround yourself with the right kind of people. Right. Meaning, I could have some yes men. Right. I know who I could have called who would have been like, yeah, dude, you need to do that, right? Yeah,
we all have yes men.
Exactly. But I agree with you. I like the people who are going to challenge my ideas. Right. Like if I was going to move to L.A., I'd want to call some people that would tell me, hey, it's a bad idea. Right. Because I want to know why. Right. Why is it a bad idea? Right. And then I can, in my own mind, all right, I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah. I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to keep an eye out for what you said because I'm going to give you some benefit of the doubt. Maybe you know something I don't. So when I get over there, with that conversation in mind, if I see something starting to form, I'm like, oh, I was told about this. I'm not going to fall in that hole. I'm going to walk around it. But had I not conversed with those around me, I wouldn't have had that opportunity.
Right. Plus, you can hear what you're not really, what you're ignoring. Yeah. Sometimes when you hear yourself validate a certain opinion, you go, wow, if someone else told me that, this is what I would say to that. Right. Sometimes I don't like my answer. I mean, I tell that person I don't like the answer, but in my head, I'm thinking, "Oh man, I just sounded like somebody I would really, I'd hammer it right there. I would pick on that." And sometimes they don't. Right. And sometimes they do. That's why you have to have enough people around you or support system around you. I think so. It's not really a new beginning. So I think that new beginning word is kind of like not even real. It's not even really a new beginning because it's just a next chapter, right? It's just it's just another chapter of your life. Yeah. Because if it was a new beginning, I wouldn't know shit. Yeah. And actually, I know stuff now. Yeah.
You still have all the baggage.
I have history. I have history of good stuff. I have a history of baggage. I have a lot of errors, and I have a lot of victories. Yeah. So I can attach to all that, right? So you have all that.
I do. I called you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what this makes me think of? I heard a story. I think Wayne Dyer said it, that he was talking about a woman summed up her whole life. She said, I walked down the street. I fell in a hole. She said, the next day I walked down the street. I walked around the hole. And she said, then the third day, I walked down another street. Yeah. And it's about learning a different way of doing things. Right. And that's what it has been for me. I am not a victim anymore. I am a woman that has changed my ideas, attitudes, and emotions. And this journey has been really a beautiful growth for me. It has not been easy. But I'm grateful that I've done it, and I have such a heart of gratitude, and I want to do all of it differently. I'm not a better person. I'm just the woman that I was supposed to be.
Right.
So this beginning, it's just a different chapter for Lisa. You know?
Yeah.
It's just a different chapter for Lisa.
And you know the other thing, Lisa, nobody would even know that you had that struggle. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, most people are so busy in their own lives.
You're right.
They're not even paying that close of attention to you, to be honest with you.
Nobody
cares. So nobody hears all that inner dialogue and doubt that you have.
All the time. It's there.
To them, you've been successful the whole time.
Right.
I mean, think about it. You work for a huge organization, one of the leaders in our industry.
Yeah.
That is top of the food chain in our industry. You work for them.
Yes.
I mean, you don't work for a small little IOP in South Florida that was built by a guy that just has 6 months sober and went out there and hired the prettiest people he could hire.
Yeah, driving a scooter. No,
yeah,
which there's plenty of those.
Exactly. You actually have been chosen, selected, embraced, loved, and promoted by one of the largest corporations and hospital systems in our industry.
Yeah, they're actually owned by UHS.
Yes.
And they started, Foundations Recovery Network started in 95 by a guy, an 8-bed facility, which he was a dual diagnosed patient. Right. So they do consider themselves the leader in true dual diagnosis.
They're up there.
You know?
Oh, no. They're up there.
I couldn't be more proud.
University Behavioral Center is here locally, which is a UHS
it's
system.
UHS, yes.
Yeah. And they're here. I used to work for them way back in the day. That's where I started, is University Behavioral Center. So, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I like all those folks over there. I go visit them.
Ken Henderson, CEO.
Yeah, Ken's
love
great.
Ken.
And I like Wendy.
Yep, love Wendy, and they're always a big supporter of our Now Matters More Foundation golf tournament, which by the way is coming up second week of March. Yay. Hopefully, we haven't solidified that date. I got to check with.
I'll come down for that.
We got to check one of our great friends, and of course the
it's
availability
always
of the place.
an amazing event you have. I love that event.
Thank you. And UHS is always part of it, the hospital system. I guess what I'm saying, Wendy, is that in life, we all have a lot of stuff going on in our head. That's kind of normal, that we all have a lot of busy conversations in our head. But we forget that nobody else knows that.
But nobody else cares, man.
Nobody else cares. Yeah. They just don't care enough. They're so worried about the zit on their forehead, they stop even looking at yours. Right. They don't even know that you have a zit on your forehead because they're wondering if you saw the zit on their forehead.
Exactly.
And that's the reality of this life. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that we spend a whole lot of time wondering and contemplating how others view us, when in reality, they don't care enough to view us the same way we view ourselves.
Nope.
I mean, we do have a smaller network than we really want to admit that really do care deeply. But at the end of the day, the only one that really needs to care that deeply is you.
I know.
That's the most important person that needs to care that deeply. Everybody else can be an outer layer. Everybody else can be another peel of that onion. They don't have to be the inner onion. I don't need anybody in my inner onion. Even my wife needs to be a layer outside of the way I view myself. And I'm very close to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know that song by Kanye? I can't help but think about that Kanye song when I just said that. No, I know, but it's a Kanye West reference. That song where he says, I thought about killing you today, or I wanted to kill you today. He goes, I thought about killing myself too, and I love myself, and I love myself a lot more than I love you, so of course I thought about killing you. Just the oddity of saying that. You know, because you listen to it and you go like, that's an odd song.
Weird, but
it's weird. But what he's saying is
about I really do love myself.
What he's saying, if I've thought about hurting me, what makes you? Of course I thought about hurting you. I love me more than I love you. Mm-hmm. And you should. It's okay to love you more than you love other people. It's okay to take care of yourself more than you take care of other people. Because without you, then nothing else really matters. We all turn off. You know, the world may go on, but your world doesn't, so we all turn off. In other words, I like to view it like you're all here just for my enjoyment. You really don't really exist, actually. There's a part of my philosophy in my head.
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah, you really don't exist. This is all like
bad.
It's like,
isn't he?
No. What's that show? The Truman Show. I'm really on the Truman Show, and you guys are all just actors. So when I die, you're all over.
That's right.
But if you do it that way, just a little bit, it allows you to say, well, how do I want this whole show to play out? You know, do I want it excitement? Do I want it stagnant? Do I want it to be filled with something? You know, I'm watching it the whole time. Well, do I want to watch boredom? No, I want to watch a little excitement too. So kind of like, I don't know, it's a way for my brain to play with it.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is if you know I'm just here for your enjoyment, at the end of the day, Lisa, this is your world. You're Truman in the Truman Show. We're all just actors. How do you want us to behave? Matter of fact, when you leave and go to South Florida, I just stop acting. I just wait for you to come back.
Yeah.
We're all just sitting around.
We're all just sitting around doing nothing.
Does a tree really fall in the woods?
Absolutely not.
We're all in the break room
Nope.
just waiting for you to come back.
No, they said, no, none of that happens. The tree does not fall. The tree doesn't make a sound until you come and hear it.
You know what, Louie? It's funny because, like, when I was younger, a lot of my needs, I mean, my parents, I love them so much, and they did the best they could.
Right.
But a lot of my needs were not met.
Right.
And I grew up not expecting my needs to be met.
Right.
And that has been a challenge for me because I lived in that place. This has been that shift where I can get my needs met too.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where I've changed. That's where I've learned to love myself.
Right.
And I can feel my feelings in a healthy way. And I can feel anger and I can feel sadness and I can not be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like that loving myself piece.
Yes.
That's what's been the game changer for me.
Right. Well, I think that's the part in all of recovery that gets lost, actually. I think people spend so much time saying you've been selfish, so you like feel so bad like you're not allowed to be selfish.
Yeah.
So it gets all confused.
It does.
That we're just servants. Look, I think serving others is a way that I found to love me more.
Yes.
You know, but to admit that I'm serving others because it does something for me. It absolutely does. It's okay to do things for yourself because the better you are to you, the more you're accessible to other people. The cup thing that I know that Trinity would always say.
Yeah, you can't fill from an empty cup.
That's
No,
right.
Right.
You gotta love yourself. There's
You
nobody on
have
this
to.
earth more deserving of your love and compassion than you.
Absolutely.
Period. Like that, and that's. I know personally a lot of people who feel guilty about that at times.
Yeah.
Like, and they feel that they need to do for others,
Right.
but they don't realize by not putting yourself first, you're actually less useful to those around you.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you truly are.
Yeah.
The more at peace you are, like I'll even say myself, like I used to think that I was a selfish individual back in the day because I didn't care for people, I didn't donate time, I didn't do any of that stuff. But I realized by not doing that, I was more detrimental to those around me.
Yes.
But now that I found peace in my life and I'm good and I'm happy and I'm doing things that make me happy, I'm more valuable to everybody else around me.
Right.
That's it.
And it took me a long time to learn that, though.
That is wonderful, Trinity. There's nothing more of my purpose than to be of use to others and
Right.
God. But I have nothing to give if I don't have it myself,
Right.
like you said.
Absolutely.
Right. And in our world, we're in a world of predators. You know, especially if you're dealing in the addiction industry.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of victims in the addiction industry. So a lot of people that have been victims in their life become predators themselves. So if you're going to exist in this system and you're going to work in the industry of helping others, which is a very difficult place to work because your emotions, I mean, you hear about death a lot. There's so many people that just don't make it. You got to latch onto those success stories and you got to use those.
Oh, yeah.
So since there's so many predators around, you have to just realize that if I just am so enabling, if I become so enabling, then all I'm doing is I'm triggering predators to be predators. I'm not helping them grow. I'm just triggering a predator to be okay to be a predator.
Oh my gosh, that is so.
And I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
to help the most hurt people out there, the people that have gone to a place of wanting to hurt others in a violent way, in order to help them, I have to have my boundaries.
Yeah.
I have to show them love and compassion, but with boundaries. Therefore, I can help them stop being a hateful, hurtful predator to me and to others, and
Yeah.
especially to themselves.
Yeah, hurt people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because it's not going to stop. The pain is there. I mean, we all have pain. So, I mean, I love all the stuff you're saying. I mean, you're saying good stuff, and there's so many people that have entered recovery in 2018, looking forward to 2019 and say, man, I'm going to be able to enjoy this New Year's Eve sober. I know somebody that we from the Now Matters More Foundation helped get into treatment right before this holidays. It comes out the day before New Year's. His discharge date is the day before. So the family's all worried, right? The family, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I would be too. If I didn't understand the whole deal, you know, I'd be like, because even as the owner, I didn't discharge people right before New Year's. Because I was always worried. I said, I don't want no part of this blame.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe get them in a good IOP or something.
Like, yeah, but even then they're home. You know what I mean?
It's rough.
But I could see, and the family's like, it's the day before New Year's. Is that normal? I'm like, well, at the same time, I mean, it's a beautiful day.
Yes.
So you can go in through it fearful,
Right.
And project that fear
Right.
to the point where now that person gets all fear.
Energetically, too.
Right. Or you could be like, you got this. We're all very confident. We're going to love on you and be around you. We're going to rally. We're going to rally. You know, because that's the way I'd rather look at it.
Well, the other thing I would say she reminded me of it earlier, and I think that your mindset is actually the best one to have, because on that same note, I've seen a lot of people put a lot of pressure on a new beginning. Like, they have all these expectations of what's going to happen. Like, 2019 is going to be my year, and all these things are going to be different.
Yeah.
And then, like, a month into it, if it's not what they thought it should be, then it completely explodes.
Right.
And so I think you're going under the right path of just, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, it's the next chapter. It's not a new beginning. I'm not going to put all this pressure of it's going to be completely different. No, it's just the next chapter, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Because I think I've seen a lot of people do that, especially in the fitness world. I've seen a lot of people who, I'm going to start going to the gym. You got all the New Year's guys. They show up January 1st.
The Monday syndrome.
Yeah, and then by like February they're not doing it anymore, and then they feel like a loser and a failure because they haven't changed everything. And you talk to them 6 months into it, and it's like the worst year ever. And it's like, well, how is this any different than last year then? And so it's your mindset that needs to change, not the things around you. Yeah. So your expectations should be more of, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to have the different perspective, not everything around me is going to be so much different. Yeah,
wouldn't it be nice if they could just love themselves there?
Yeah.
If they could be like, you know what? So I didn't lose the weight I wanted to, or I didn't work out the way, but you know what? I'm going to meet myself right there.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, whatever you have planned for this year, I don't know what it is. But everybody has some sort of expectation or desire. Let's say that. Everybody has some sort of a desire how this next year would be. And if you're in recovery, you've heard expectations lead to premeditated resentments. You've had this conversation. As a matter of fact, if you even get close to the word expectation with a sponsor, your sponsor will drop a hammer on you real quick. and because that's what sponsors like to do, right? They feel like they're a reality check person in your life. When I think sponsors, unfortunately, don't realize you're not just a reality check person. You're really a person to kind of do both sides. Don't just be the hammer. Give me the hammer, but plus tell me that sometimes I'm the hammer, and explain that it's okay sometimes that I'm the hammer. And this time you might actually kick 219's butt here. You might actually go into 2019 and get all the expectations that you weren't really supposed to have, but you did, and you kind of might meet them.
Sure.
And that's the kind of cool, exciting part about change. And I know those of you in recovery have heard also from sponsors that people, addicts hate change. People in recovery hate change. Let me tell you something. No, we don't. And I'm going to prove to you that we don't. Because when you used to, if anyone out there has ever smoked cigarettes, I know vaping is the deal now, and you probably can't do this with vape stuff. But back in the day when everybody smoked cigarettes and you ran out of cigarettes or you ran out of money, you searched for change. And you searched the entire house for change until you found it. You searched the car for change. You searched the couches for change. And when you had the change, you bought something with it. We love change. It's how you view it. It's that perspective thing, Trinity, that you've heard that you're not supposed to like change, so you fear it. But we actually really love it. We're just afraid that we're going to screw it up like we did so many other things. We feel like we've mastered misery, so we kind of stay in there because we've mastered it. I've mastered lying, so I'm going to stay lying because I know how to do this. I've mastered hiding, so I'm going to hide because I've mastered it. It's comfortable.
It is comfortable.
But it's comfortable in a very uncomfortable way. You are not as comfortable as you think you are. You are not as safe and secure as you think you are. You call it a comfort zone, but if you're so damn comfortable, why are we even having this conversation?
If you're so comfortable, why are you so miserable?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Well, that's that one song by that one girl, right? Oh, man, I can't even remember, so I better not even try to do that reference. I always do that. I try to reference something, but then I quickly remind myself, you have no short-term memory. And it didn't make it to long-term. So move on. But yeah, we call it a comfort zone, and it's not really comfortable.
No.
Because if we were damn comfortable, we wouldn't be having to talk to that sponsor in the first place.
Why would we end up here, right?
Right.
My best thinking gets me
My best thinking.
here.
Yeah. The best conning, scheming, lying, manipulating, planning.
Oh, my gosh.
All the tools that I thought I had.
Sometimes I lied for no reason. Like I would lie about going to a concert or I'd lie about being at a certain party or meeting someone for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, why did I do that?
You'll say you were at a Circle K when you were at 7-Eleven.
It was so stupid. Yes.
It means nothing.
Stupid.
It's absolutely
You're like, yeah.
nothing.
Oh, I met that guy.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
I mean, it was just so in my nature just to be accepted,
Right.
just to please.
Right.
And then I found out later that was all manipulation.
Right.
I was in my therapist's office one time and he goes, "Do you realize how many times you've okayed me?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "That's manipulation, Lisa, and it's not connecting us." And I'm like, "Oh, it's not."
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. Those protections that worked as a kid don't work anymore.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like not working.
No, and I think that's one of the points of maturity, right? Is to know that whatever I used at one time, it probably was for a purpose. Mm-hmm. My defense mechanisms did work at one time. That's why they became what they became. That's why I got so accustomed to them. At one time, you had to lie.
Yeah.
You couldn't smoke without lying. You couldn't get high without lying. You had to lie to get your stuff. You do your stuff. It's just not effective anymore.
No.
It's just not needed anymore. It's not necessary anymore.
It's not necessary.
So you have to break behaviors that you kind of like. They became too secondary.
Yeah.
You know.
Some of them I like. They
Yeah.
call them shortcomings.
Yeah.
Like defects of character, boy. Some of them I like them.
Yeah. Oh, that shortcomings word. That shortcomings word. I remember when I first stepped in the room and they said shortcomings. I had no idea what that word meant. I didn't. That's like a college word. They were shortcomings, and I was like, I yesed them on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever that.
I think he just doesn't like using our founder, or one of the founders didn't want to use the same word too many times.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. You know. Well, it was 30s.
Yeah, it was.
You know, they did talk different.
They certainly did.
You know, I mean, I just didn't understand them all the
these
time.
and the thous and the
Yeah.
I's.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like people don't talk like that. You know what I mean? I need like an urban dictionary for the 12-step big book.
There is a dictionary that defines every single word.
geez.
Yeah.
And my
Like twice the size of the big book.
It
then?
is.
It's a compendium
It
for it.
is
you know?
Trinity. My sponsor's husband had it and broke it out the other day.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And
It's
then the
cool.
old timer will be like, no.
God.
They'll find some error in
There's
that.
always someone that will find error. I love it.
Let me say something. You old timers out there, you yeah. I got
Thank
30
God.
years. I'm an old timer now.
You are.
Yeah,
Louis.
I'm allowed to argue with you now.
You are an old timer, Louis.
Damn it. But then I'll meet somebody that go, I got 50 years. Little smart, little.
Wait, I
Peanut head.
spilled more than you drank.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you. You know, I don't know.
Jeez.
So we're talking about new beginnings here on the Couch Live. But again, we want to remind you that it's not necessarily a new beginning. It's just another chapter. It's just another day. It's not as big of a deal as your brain is making it out. You know what I mean? If you didn't know what day it was, if you were stranded on a desert island, trust me, it wouldn't be like some clock hit and all of a sudden you felt differently because it's 2019. You wouldn't even know.
Y2K all over again.
You just wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know. It's the same stuff. It's just we use it to inspire ourselves. Use the new year to inspire energy because you may need that. Just like Monday inspires people sometimes. To some people, they hate Mondays. To other people, they had a plan that Monday I'm going to start doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that philosophy that you were saying earlier with the fitness world, right? Is that I'm going to do it Monday,
Yep.
right? But not today.
No. It's worth doing, just not today though.
It's just not
I'll wait
today.
till Monday.
I'll wait till Monday. So what day is it today anyway? It's Friday, right?
Yes.
So what are
Friday.
people inspired to do on Friday, Trinity?
Usually go out and drink and have a good time. It's usually go out and party.
Or dinner, Trinity. People
Sure.
go to the movies.
Absolutely. People still go to movies? Oh, yeah, I will now.
Yeah. That one,
Trinity.
there was a movie with Julia Roberts, Ben is Back, great reviews.
Ben is back. That's the name of the movie?
It's that the kid is in recovery. He or in and out of recovery, he has a heroin addiction.
Yeah.
And Julia Roberts is the mother. It's very powerful from what I hear.
Oh, okay.
There's another
It's
good one,
speaking
though.
of the fact that we're in the middle of that epidemic too, so
Yeah,
it's
I can't go to a theater to watch a non-action film.
I guess it's not really action.
No, to me it's hard to go to a theater. Why do I want to watch it with all of you?
Well,
You know what I mean? If it's
you did say that
thought-provoking-
you take your kids, or you started them
Yeah.
at 2 watching Mayhem,
Yeah, mayhem.
and Murder.
Mayhem and murder.
That's right, man.
That's
the
right.
younger, the better. No,
Man,
another good one I
murder.
heard about, I haven't seen it yet, was Beautiful Boy.
Oh, I heard that's
I heard,
awesome.
I heard it was like a great movie.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great movie. Again, it's hard for me to go to a movie theater to. I just $11.50 or whatever it is, $13.50 to go sit with all of you to watch a movie, and then so if I need a potty break, or if I want some more food
what
or a drink,
action
I
movie
miss it.
would you like to see, Louie?
None.
See, I'm spoiled. I watch them all at home, man.
Yeah,
I love
on
watching movies
Netflix.
at home
Yeah.
because I love rewinding.
I don't have Netflix. I can't afford it.
You hear that, Foundation? She needs a raise.
Yeah. Boy, you moving to California. You
I'm
better step up that paycheck.
Somebody was saying, I know, I hear the cost of living is higher.
It's
Somebody
horrible.
was saying that the movies, when you go to the movies sometimes in California, that the actors actually show up.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
can meet them, and
Oh, it's a trip.
like a full red carpet
Oh, no.
deal. Like I cannot wait.
Oh no. Listen. I can't tell you how many actors I met at
I'm
popular theaters in
so
Hollywood
excited.
because they would show up.
That is amazing to
They're
me.
in the line.
That's a dream
It's
come
so
true.
weird. But not only that, California, Hollywood is where I learned that at the end of the movie, like I would try to leave, and then I realized all the people, because I was in film school, they all stay. First of all, I had to sit in the middle because the Dolby point, whatever the hell that meant.
Have no
right?
idea.
Because that's where all the sound is perfect. You had to sit in the middle of
No
theater,
idea.
which I hated. I like the aisles.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle with all these film students who clap at the end, which is ridiculous and psychotic to
They
me.
clap.
Yeah, they're excited. But then, no, dig this. The end, like everybody's still sitting down because everybody's looking for their name or a friend's name, and then they clap during the credits.
Oh wow.
Weird.
So, I have no idea what.
So
that's
Hollywood
like.
is the only place where people like want to read the credits, not for bloopers or not for one of those reasons that I watch credits, which is I'm leaving and all of a sudden there's like an extra scene.
Yeah.
And then they make me mad. I'm like, oh damn it, now I gotta wait for that.
That's
like, are you really
that's
over? Is the
amazing.
movie really? No, they're watching it because
I'm
look, Frank.
I'm going
look,
to
Frank.
Hollywood.
Look, Frank was a
Trinity.
gaffer. I told you Frank was a gaffer.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why people watch the credits because they're in it.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
there's always someone in the industry that's in the audience, and they're in the movie. At the beginning, like if you go like opening nights, that first weekend.
Well, I'm going to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you have to do it.
I have to.
It's part of doing it, and you
Yeah.
get to go to live shows.
I've dreamed about this
Yeah,
for
you-
many of years of
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah, you're gonna go to all the shows that are being filmed on all the lots.
Yeah.
If you hang out downtown Hollywood, there's always someone saying, "Do you want to go see a live show?" And it'll be like like let's say Blackish. Just let's say they're filming. I don't even know if that's still on. Is that still on? Is that?
I think so.
I don't know, but let's say it's Blackish or something like that. Then they get the studio audience and they'll tell you where to show up, or they'll pick you up and drive you there,
All right.
and then you'll go.
And
now you're in the studio audience during a show that you'll watch, a few months later.
Yay.
Yeah. So it's,
Very cool.
a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Date nights are very different there, or
I-
date days are very different because you get to do all those kinds of things. You date yourself, and here's the important thing: date yourself. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hollywood is definitely a place you can go watch movies by yourself. You can go to dinner by yourself. The food is amazing.
And people do that,
And
right?
people
They
do
just
that.
do their thing.
And people do it.
Great.
And there you can.
Yeah.
There you absolutely
People
can.
don't look at you like you're
No,
fucking strange.
you'll see so many people by themselves
doing their thing.
by themselves.
I like it.
Yeah, Hollywood is one of those places you can do that, and
Good.
it's not even odd.
Good.
Because they'll have their little they'll be just doing their things.
It's like
Okay.
a Starbucks everywhere you go.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, and there's
it's
the other
great
one.
to go to the Starbucks.
No, there's another one. There's a what is it? Something in beans, not pork
You have
and
to
beans.
give me a tutorial.
There's
before I
another.
go.
There's another one that's like a Starbucks, but it's like the place now.
Okay.
Not Starbucks, but
But
because
cool.
Starbucks is North
But
California,
cooler.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Southern California. They got the coffee and beans or whatever the hell that's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think when I went to Michael's house, they have it in Palm Springs too. The one that you were referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah, it's a real popular.
Yeah.
Kevin
Looks-
just said coffee bean and tea leaf.
There you go. That's where Kevin
That's it.
took me.
Yes.
Kevin.
There's one in
Kevin's
Palm
on?
Springs too.
Kevin took me. It's coffee, bean, and tea. See,
Thank
I can't
you,
even say
Kevin.
that name. That's such a big name. But it's the same as Starbucks, except it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then you go see Kevin. Kevin will give you a tour. Kevin works for Sony.
Okay. I'd love
There
to
you
have
go.
a tour, Kevin.
There you go, Kevin. She's coming out to your place, and you can give her a tour.
Yeah, I'll be there on the
Sure.
15th. I
That's
move
right.
out on the 15th.
January?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
That's
should
right around the corner,
ship
man.
my car on the 11th. Yeah, like what? 3
Ship
weeks?
your car?
You can
I'm
you
shipping
drive
it. I'm not driving.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does one ship a car?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's yeah. I don't know.
Time out.
There
Time
was
out.
the
I'm
service-
calling bullshit on something.
There's a service. It's
I
like
can't afford Netflix, but I can ship a
it's-
car.
it's like
Wait a minute.
priorities.
I see that. How are you shipping it? What does shipping
It's
a
like-
car mean?
Yeah, like they put it on
Like a train?
a loader.
Really?
Then drive it
See, I
out.
think I'd want to drive.
Because I have
Why don't
almost
you drive?
I have almost 100,000 miles on my car. For me to drive that out 3,000 miles, it's going to be too many miles on my car.
See, I think it'd be fun to drive though.
It is a cool drive.
Like a
Two
farewell.
cats.
It is a cool
farewell
drive.
tour to
I don't know.
Florida.
I
and,
don't-
like,
Listen.
Okay.
Let me talk you through this.
You load
All
up
right,
the truck
let's
and you move to
go.
Beverly Hills.
Really?
Yeah, let's
All right,
talk
I could be maybe talked to.
New Orleans,
All right.
it's on the way.
Okay.
San Antonio or Austin, Texas,
All right.
that's on the way. El Paso,
So
my
what do
home,
I-
is on the way.
Okay.
Vegas.
No, Vegas is a little north. You'll have to take a little detour to go to Vegas. Vegas is actually just as west as L.A. It's just north. So it doesn't feel like it's the exact same, but it's actually just as west.
So what I
as
would
LA.
drive like 10 hours a day and then
10 to
stay
12
overnight
hours a day.
and stay overnight.
Or 8 to 12 hours a day.
with
and stay.
two cats.
Okay, you ship
You
it.
can ship the
Ship it.
cats.
Ship the cats.
The cats, man.
I can't ship the cats. They're
Drive
my-
the car,
they're
ship
my
the cats.
They're my family.
Well, yeah, but they don't play well in,
No.
in all those places that I
I
just
know.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but New Orleans.
Okay.
You have friends near New Orleans.
I do.
You can go
I
visit the
do-
Journey home.
Yep.
I do have.
This is a working trip.
I have Madison, and then I have my coworkers. I have
Yeah.
a couple coworkers that live there.
Yeah, you said Madison's now at what place? What's the place?
She's at St. Christopher's now.
So you can go to St. Christopher's. You can
yeah,
go to the Journey
I love
home.
that place.
That'd be a cool
Then you go into
that's a cool
Texas.
start to a new chapter,
Yeah.
man.
I
Just
could actually
traveling
go see
all the way
some
across
programs.
and see
Yeah.
things and like.
You'll
There
see
are some decent
programs the
ones. I think that'd be
entire
kinda
way.
cool.
That's how you do this trip.
Right. Okay.
I think that would be
all right.
cool.
I'm gonna pray on that.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
will.
Pray on it. Because there's so many good programs on the way.
There are.
Well, not only that, but you know the memories you're going to create with that much
That's true.
time with yourself, traveling
Trinity,
across
you
country.
are
those are
absolutely
memories.
right. I really am gonna. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take
Cool
that into a
experiences.
meditation and a prayer. Yeah.
One of my coolest experiences that I'll remember is when I moved out to LA and when I moved here, because it was a long. I
drove?
I drove from LA to here. Yeah, 3,000 miles. 3,000 miles of experiences, man. It's awesome.
I would do the
Okay.
I
drive.
stopped on the way. I saw people that I knew along the way.
Oh.
You see them for a day or
But
for a
you
few
know,
hours.
you know everybody around the country.
So do
I
you.
mean, you like.
No,
you're
so do
the-
you.
All right. I hear
You do
I'm,
too.
I'm listening.
If you would actually put out a map and think what programs are on the way.
All right.
Think about Texas programs.
I do. I do.
Louisiana
La
programs.
Hacienda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do know
Arizona, Phoenix.
some people. I do.
Yeah.
You're right. And some good ones that you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
When are you ever going to go to Sierra Tucson? Just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
You're driving through Sierra Tucson.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I-10 is awesome. I love I-10.
I would
I-10
to-
goes
I
from
would totally do
Jacksonville to right to Venice.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Right to
I-10
my
goes from
front door.
Jacksonville
to my new front door.
Santa Monica, really bad. But anyway, but it's right there. You're going to go from Jacksonville to Santa Monica.
To Foundation Santa Monica.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
I would totally do it.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right,
So
All right, I'm gonna. I promise you
Yeah.
guys, I will take it to prayer and
Well,
meditation.
You
yeah.
can take a bunch of pictures and video, and
Yeah.
then you can
Yeah.
look at
You
it a
know,
year from
and
now.
I'll tell you, this
Yeah.
is the weirdest thing. I just decided to blog my journey
Oh,
and
you-
video,
dude, you gotta
vlog
What, your
my
airport?
journey
The airport?
across
Yeah.
country. So there is a real good possibility.
There you
I
go.
actually got on because I was not even trying to start a page on Facebook.
Right.
And I got on and I was like, sometimes in the morning I read the Bible and all of a sudden I took a break and went and there was like a page created on Facebook for me. And I'm like, all right, let me go with this. And I
Okay.
did. And I did a little video or a vlog the other day. And I had like 130 people that viewed it. And then I
Nice.
like started a little page and I was very
Nice.
transparent on the fact that, you know, money was an issue for
Right,
me to
right.
move, but I was
Yeah.
going to do it. And that is something that may happen.
Imagine if somebody would join you on each leg. Imagine how
Okay.
cool that would be.
Or
Like,
even you could just go live on each leg.
oh no, you
too.
will do that.
Yeah.
No, you'd have to do that.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying there's people that would enjoy something at each leg. You know what I mean? But even if somebody, let's say somebody drove all the way with you and they fly back,
Okay. Like if you actually had
a companion.
a companion or friends that would.
A partner in
Hang
Yeah,
crime.
yeah,
hang
somebody
out
that
with
would
you.
do the whole journey with you and then fly back from
Talk-
LA to here.
Okay. Talk about a cool experience.
That's an
right?
awesome experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a. You got to think about, you know, a way to put a nice big stamp
Well,
on it.
this is what I would
Yeah.
say. This is when I said experiences. You know, 10 years from now, which one are you going to remember more or have more fun telling? yeah, I loaded up my car and I got on a plane and I flew there. Or I drove cross country and stopped at all these places, met all these people. Like, that's just a better story to tell.
Right.
You'll never see the places again.
You're right.
No.
You won't. You
You're
won't.
right. And I do like staying in motels.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
I do.
Motels?
Yeah,
like motels?
Yeah, like little like Hampton Inns and stuff. Like when I was.
That's a hotel. Hampton Inn is a hotel.
When you said motel, I'm thinking
you said motel, I'm thinking like
Bates Motel.
Bates. Yeah. Room number 7 out of 7.
I meant when I was growing up, me and my family, we would go on road trips.
Right.
And we always had a lot of fun staying
They
on road trips.
I love it.
And we'd swim, like like we'd get snacks and we'd go swim, and then it was good memories.
There you go.
So
that's the point.
Yeah,
and I'm sure
that's what Trinity and I are saying.
Right, like the world's biggest ball of yarn or something on the way. You can stop at.
No.
Maybe I will take my cats.
Have you ever
litter box in the back?
Have you ever had an 85-mile-an-hour speed limit? Texas.
Oh, I could go that fast. I'm not really a fast driver.
Oh, you'll have to. All of a sudden, everybody's going to start passing you, and you'll realize I'm on a road, because if not, it'll take you 12 hours to do, come from like East Texas to West Texas.
Yeah.
But no, they've changed the rules, and they've now allow you to drive 120 miles an hour.
She's going to be calling you from jail in a couple weeks. Louis, you said it was 120.
But Louis, I was able to drive in L.A. when I was there a couple months ago. I did okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, you mean you parked in L.A.?
Well, whatever I was supposed to be doing. I moved with the cars.
Right, exactly. All right, so final words, final things that you want to say about New Beginnings or next chapter for the listeners.
For me, it's about change. It's about transforming. It's about loving myself wherever I'm at and not being hard on myself no matter what it is. The word comes to mind right now is chrysalis, and that's I don't know the exact.
Is that from chrysalis, like the moth or not moth, butterfly thing? Or where does that come from?
Well, I was listening to a meditation the other day, and they were talking. Maybe one of your listeners could actually give us the definition of it.
No, we only have 2 minutes left now, so if they do, they better know it.
It was talking about like a piece of rawhide that they put that this lady had put in the sun, and it actually changed it to being soft and beautiful, and it's transformation.
Beautiful, which is where you work.
Yeah. And for me, that's what it's about. Like, I'm not afraid of change. Right. Change is good for me because I know it's made me the person that I am ready to be.
So if somebody wants help, give them your details or whatever you wish to change.
Yes, I have my work cell phone is 407-346-3405. I will answer it anytime. And then I have a national helpline, which is 855-275-8744, Foundations Recovery Network.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you
Trinity,
so much.
You want to thank our sponsors for us real quick and give us our final words?
Right on. Sponsors, thank you for Journey Pure, Retreat Premier Addiction Treatment Centers, and Now Matters More Foundation and Orange County Drug Free Coalition. I'm getting them out fast because we've got less than a minute. Final thoughts, I would say change and whatnot. Just do it. You'll be all right. You'll survive. We're all survivors. I think sometimes paralysis by analysis, we focus too much on the what ifs. Just do it. You'll be all right. You'll find a way of getting through it. We always do.
Right. And everybody, it's a beautiful thing. Change is beautiful. The next chapters are beautiful. Enjoy it, 2019. We look forward to all the changes that we're going through. Go to nowmattersmore.org if you want to help us out, help other people in the new year. We always need your help. Again, thank you very much, Elisa Saunders and all the good people of Foundations. Adios, amigos. It's time for a taco. Goodbye.
And that was without even a single drop of rum.
That was awesome.